Hello everyone and good evening. How is everyone and how's your Sunday? How are you feeling? I would love you to drop a comment in the comment section below. Yeah, at least good evening. Trust you all had beautiful met at church. Yeah, we had Femi Manuel. Thank you. Oh, Emmanuel, you're the first person to be here. Wow, nice. Well done. So how's everybody? How is your end going? How's the week? Like, how are you visualizing the week so far? The week we are entering. I know it's going to be busy for some. For me also, it's going to be a busy one, but I know I'll be able to push through. Every week we all move. Oh, just thinking about JavaScript, Emmanuel. Oh, I think I created a slide for JavaScript also. Let me see how I can break down JavaScript from the beginning, not to the end, but to a point where I would not scatter people's head. So I today I made a slide for JavaScript, and at the end of today's class also, I think I would be sending the slide for GitHub and JavaScript. I know I made a slide for GitHub also, so I'll be sending both of them, and also I'll try to send everything I think I owe you guys pertaining note or slide. I'll send it to the group. Okay, guys. If you can hear me, I'm happy to be here. Please let me just see your comment in the like in the chat. Just drop a comment. Let me see. Yeah, Juliet, good evening. Stella, good evening. Chinemere, good evening. Um, yeah. Oh, you are tired of classes already, Emmanuel. When will classes end? For me, classes just starting now. But I just decided I'll start making slide, and even next week, maybe Monday, I'm already requesting for a time for me to take up some parts in JavaScript again. So for me, start is just starting though. Oh, Darasimi, I sincerely apologize for that. I did not send the code. I sincerely apologize for that. I would find all possible means to send it today. So, like I said, I will send everything I'm owing everyone today. So, apologies for that. So, let's start this meeting at exactly 6:05. Yeah. Thank you, Stella. Thank you, can hear me. Thank you. I really appreciate for your comment. Clarify that you can hear me. I'm happy that you guys can hear me today also. I think my network is very strong today. So I've also made sure that I had other backup networks today, so even in case. But I pray nothing happens. So great. First, what is JavaScript? We have been talking about JavaScript. Some people are already tired of JavaScript, and it looks like some people are already planning that. Oh, I don't think tech is for me. I don't want to code again. Just the beginning of JavaScript, I was thinking it was looking fun, but I got to JavaScript, and JavaScript is like messing my head. Like, oh no, I don't want JavaScript to mess my head. So first, what is JavaScript? In my slide, they have JavaScript as JavaScript is a highly effective client-side scripting language. Circle that client side scripting language in case you are going to be with this slide. Circle it, put that on your head. JavaScript is primarily used to improve a user's interaction with a web page. That interaction also, circle it. You won't forget everything around that second sentence. Don't forget that user interaction. Then, oh, I think that is a good suggestion, Jack. I think we'll look for a way to do that. I will look for a way to do that. I will look for a way to see how we can number the classes so that you know the classes, and so you can go back to it. But if it's JavaScript, I don't think you've missed it. You've missed a lot though, but I think this class will just cover. That's why I made this class possible for recaps. So continuation. In other words, you can use JavaScript to make your website more lively and interactive. JavaScript is also widely used in game development and mobile app development. Your games, your apps, they use JavaScript. In as much as they know that a lot of people confuse Java and JavaScript, but I will tell you today that JavaScript and Java is not the same thing. I would see a lot of comments of people trying to say, "Oh, I'm learning Java." Then in the real sense of it, I actually found out that they were learning JavaScript. So don't confuse yourself with JavaScript and Java. They are two different languages, and Java is very, very complex. I don't think I would have time to. I don't plan to learn Java though. I think I'm okay with JavaScript because with JavaScript, as I'm saying here, is very popular and I can use it for almost everything. So JavaScript was developed by Brendan H. It might be a question or interview question that would develop JavaScript or something, but just know it. In 1995, we had markup language. We've had markup languages like HTML. Don't let HTML discourage you. JavaScript discourage you. Is it? Don't worry. It's just bit by bit. You would get it. So first, JavaScript appeared to be Netscape. That's the name. A popular browser of that time. That was what Netscape was. And I would love to show you how Netscape even looked like that is interface, but not probably before the end of this class. The language was initially called LiveScript and was later renamed as JavaScript. It was called LiveScript. I wondered maybe the reason why they called it LiveScript was because it was like then, like JavaScript was almost like everything for them there with the introduction of JavaScript. Along the line, JavaScript it started developing, so it was known. But also, why do you want to learn JavaScript? Why? Number one reason, because it is the mostly widely used programming language in the world. So it's very easy that when you say, okay, I know JavaScript as a developer, you'll be able to get a job almost very easy. Because one, they understand that if you know JavaScript, you can work with a lot of other JavaScript frameworks. So JavaScript is a fantastic option for programmers. Once you have mastered JavaScript, you can use various JavaScript-based frameworks such as jQuery, Node.js to create excellent front-end and back-end software. So once you know JavaScript, it won't be difficult for you to say, oh, backend somebody when a backend person sends a Node.js code for you, you can still debug it, you can still understand the little, you can still know a little of what actually is going on. How well do you need to know JavaScript to get an intern job? Well, I would say know the basics of JavaScript, know the syntax, the variables, functions, how to use the events. But I'll tell you also, if you know those basics, which I would also refer you to a material that will teach you those basics before the end of this class. With that, I will tell you that you can apply for a job with just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But it will be good for you to say you want to dive into Python after that. Sorry, React or any other front-end framework. But I would say React because React is widely used. So, continuation. Every modern web browser already has JavaScript installed. So you don't actually need a special environment to learn JavaScript. For instance, every modern browser, including Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and others support JavaScript. Another reason. Don't worry, Chimano, to sound like Python. Don't worry. So I showed you people yesterday that almost everything on the browser uses JavaScript. And now they're telling us that modern browsers, Chrome too, Firefox, Safari uses JavaScript. That is like iPhone, iOS uses JavaScript. So you see how JavaScript is very, very vast. Continuation. Also, one of the reasons why you should learn JavaScript that JavaScript makes it possible to build incredible, attractive, and swift websites. You can create a website with a console-like interface to provide the best graphical user experience for your visitors. You see how YouTube looks very beautiful, and you see when I remove JavaScript from YouTube, you see how like shameless it became. Nothing was there. So that's telling you that JavaScript can make your website look so amazing. Today, game development, desktop app development, and mobile app development all uses JavaScript. As a programmer, this gives you a lot of opportunities. So as you can see, just knowing JavaScript alone, you can dive into desktop application development because you know JavaScript. So it's not very difficult. If you know JavaScript, like React, for example, if you know JavaScript and you moved into React, it will be it's very easy for you to move from React JS to React Native, which is used for mobile. So JavaScript has a lot of opportunities for you. Continuation. For those who know JavaScript, that is significant job growth and high pay due to high demand. Everywhere you see, okay, you need to know if you're a front-end developer, they would ask you, do you know maybe React, do you know Vue or something? Majorly they're diving in, do you know JavaScript? That's what they're trying to ask you. When you go into maybe mobile, you hear people like asking, do you know React Native? Do you know this? It's still on JavaScript. Backend, they ask you, you know Node.js, which is very vast. Node.js happens to be one of the most used backend framework aside PHP that's also there because PHP is Baba. It has been there ever since. So for JavaScript, it's also like that. So the best thing about JavaScript is that it has a ton of frameworks and library that you can use to speed up your development of your software. So if you know JavaScript and you can use a library, you will not have issues. You'll be able to get what is it called to probably use library of JavaScript 3JS, which is for animation for different type. So frameworks that uses JavaScript, React.js is JavaScript, Vue.js is JavaScript, jQuery is JavaScript, Node.js is JavaScript. For those of you that have heard of Backbone.js, is also JavaScript. Polymer.js is also JavaScript. Angular is also JavaScript. Well, like I said in the number 8, you may be the one to create the next JavaScript library or framework. So you can start with one. I have people, a friend of mine, well, his one was PHP. He created a PHP library, which is very, very awesome. Like I can say, if I was using PHP, I love that. I'm still looking for that library in JS. I don't know if I'll create it one of these days though, but it's very lovely. So like I said, you may be the next person that because the owner of React, the person that created React is also a human being. The person that created Vue is a human being. So I would encourage you, don't give up. You may be the next big thing in the JS world. You don't know what the 5-10 years might actually have for you. So if you know you love this, don't give up. Keep trying, and you will surely get there. It doesn't take a month or a year. It's consistency that it takes. You being consistent will make you be the next big thing. So, applications of JavaScript programming. Nice programming. Now, where can I use JavaScript? I've told you why you should learn JavaScript, where JavaScript is, like how you use JavaScript. Now, where do we use JavaScript? Where can it be used? So, first thing, for client-side validation, you know what client-side means now? That is, okay, client-side, well, from the word client. Uh-huh. So, so you know who is interacting with it? Users. What is that is interacting with? Client-side validation is crucial for validating users' inputs before it is sent to the server. And JavaScript is crucial for doing this right on the front end. You see your validations of input, and also when you're trying to send that form and you're putting action, that action is calling something that there's going to be a JavaScript, hidden JavaScript that is on that form. If you see how they break down some libraries, you see that JavaScript is also attached into it. So for you to validate this, even though there's HTML validation, but most of it is still using JavaScript. It's still calling JavaScript property before it is now sending the output back to what is it called, to the backend. That's the server. So JavaScript happens on form validations. The HTML page manipulation, that's something we did yesterday. JavaScript is useful for instant HTML page manipulation. It makes it input to add and remove any HTML using JavaScript. And it also allows you to modify your HTML to alter how it appears and behaves based on your various device. You could see, even though I know we did not really talk about it to that extent and some things were actually happening that yesterday, but you could see that I could change my input where I actually added a day. I changed it to Bimbo yesterday with JavaScript. So you see how awesome JavaScript is. You can use it to change if probably you are displaying an element and you want it to be conditional. Probably you want it that when a user says I like you want to, when the user logs in, it's not like login. Once the user login, you now see I maybe username Toby. So that's what JavaScript does. JavaScript enables you to put a condition that display this or display this. If this is true, display this. If this is false, display this. Display this. So it helps you to manipulate your HTML. Again, another application is you see your user notification that you get. You see that Slack notification, something like that. You can use JavaScript to create dynamic pop-up windows on your website pages to provide users with various types of notification. There are snack bar notifications, there are pop-ups, there are different types. You could use JavaScript when you learn React or something. There is even a notification library that works for this already, that was built with JavaScript. You just need to research about it. So, and there are even different libraries that makes it very easy for you to use. So JavaScript is almost everything. I'm going through this basis of JavaScript, all these terms of JavaScript, because I don't want you people to have an half knowledge of just maybe having the knowledge of how function works, what variable is, but not knowing what you could use JavaScript for. You need to know what you use JavaScript for. You need to know how you can use JavaScript. You need to know when to use JavaScript. You need to know what method you could use and what it is called. It's not just by writing the function or by writing the variable by calling a variable or something. You need to know what you are doing. By meaning of what I say, you need to know what an example. You need to know you are validating a response on an input. You need to know what it is called. That's called client-side validation. So you need to know all those terms. That's why I'm breaking it down in this kind of way. So the next one I'm going is the back-end data loading. JavaScript also is made it possible by JavaScript Ajax library, which you can use to load backend data while performing other operations. Your website visitors will have an amazing experience thanks to this. So you see how you actually maybe a user registers on your site or you are trying to search for something on a website. JavaScript makes it very easy using Ajax library to call those data from the backend. So once it's called from the backend, you would see it should load working well or something. But you are like, oh, how is it even being called? Is that Ajax library, one Ajax library that makes it very easy? Majorly, search is done through this through JavaScript for those that are using JavaScript framework or something. Even when you're using PHP, sometimes for it you need to use search, you still call this Ajax this thing functionality if you are going to use that. So you see how JavaScript is even vast. Let me tell you something. If you are using PHP, you may still need JavaScript. Not that you will still need JavaScript for some things, for some functionality. It might not be directly with JavaScript, but a JavaScript library. Doing Python, you will still need JavaScript. Python is even a must self because you need to call your front end as built probably with a JavaScript framework because JavaScript is just complete. JavaScript is front end and back end. So this is it. I'll tell you. If you are learning JavaScript, I would advise you may not learn another framework like maybe trying to learn Python or something because JavaScript would assist you to know both the front end and the back end. For that, because JavaScript is capable of doing that. So with just JavaScript, you are good. Other than learning Python, learning PHP, learning every almost a Java or any framework you lay your hands on. One mistake every developer do is they try to combine almost all the programming languages. Same person is learning Python, same person is learning Node.js, same person is learning PHP, same person is learning Java and also C. Paste it. Be sure you are good with one before you move to another. Don't just jump. Jumping will actually have an effect, and you'll be a master of 0, but you are good with 5. Okay, good. Another application is for presentation. One, a feature of JavaScript that gives websites a more professional appearance is the ability to create presentation. Wow, I'm very sure some of you should try this. Vue.js and Bexpose.js library are offered by JavaScript to create web-based based slideshows. So you should try that. You should try to even just. I'm not saying you should try it now because I know you probably may not be very versed with it yet. But when you actually, when you have the opportunity to see to use the library for something, look at how you can actually use them, what you can use with them. So I've given you that. Okay, VGS can use, you can use it to create presentation files just the way you have slideshows and all that this thing. So you could just check it out. It's not necessary you do it now. You may not need it now, but having that knowledge, it might help you in the future, because you would have know, oh, I think I've heard of a library that could do this. So I would advise you, get a note or probably Notion. Just any new thing you learn, just put it there. You will learn how to do something very easy. I love easy works. And if you see if you have been to my class and you've seen my, what is it called? My extension, most of the times I use extension for a lot of things because I love easy works. So server applications, the backend part. For building quick and scalable network applications, Node.js is based on Chrome JavaScript runtime. This event-based library aids in creation of extremely complex server applications, including web servers. So for servers, you could create with JavaScript, you could create different type of server that you need. It might not be, what is it called? It might not be web servers. It could be another server. It could be another thing. We have networking servers. So JavaScript is very, very vast. So ensure you put your hands on JavaScript. Okay. Next thing, JavaScript syntax. Not knowing JavaScript syntax or how it works, where it is being placed, is going to be an error and it's going to give you some difficulties. Because if you just feel, okay, I'm just coding, you don't know what it is called. You don't know where you can place it. Somebody, maybe a junior person comes to you and advise and asks you, okay, sorry, I heard something in one of the classes I'm attending in maybe JavaScript, and I'm not asking. I was arguing with somebody, and I'm like, where can I put this? And it's like, you can put it here. But you on your own other end, because you've not gone so deep in it, you just be like, oh yes, I think it's correct. So you need to learn all those syntax. You need to know what those syntax are called, because probably that may even be one of your first question or something. Don't worry, JavaScript will not be very difficult. You cannot know everything in JavaScript just yet, but I will not lie to you. But what I can tell you is continuous learning will make you to be very, very good in JavaScript. Even senior developer, the CTO of a company, still uses Google. So if you can use your Google very well to research, you are good to go. Just know the basic and use your browser. Your browser will make a lot of things easy for you. If without your browser, I will tell you that you would have difficulties. And when I mean difficulties, you would have what is it called? Challenges, like maybe you encounter bugs and you feel you can solve it by yourself. The first thing you should do is try to solve the bug. The second thing you should do is check your browser. The person that built, what is it called? Even Jumia was not built in a day. Jumia was built with bugs. Till now, Jumia still has bugs. But the part of them solving that bugs is what makes it to be good. So it simply means if they could not solve the bugs, they could browse it. The person that wrote all this code still uses Google to see what he has written. Would you allowed to use Google during interview? There's some interviews that allows you, but if an interview, that's why they have a network and everything. Some interviews allow. I attended an interview that allowed me to browse. So interviews allows you, but majorly interviews majorly tries to give data structure and algorithms. That is the big ones. So also as you're learning your JavaScript, also try your best to code what is it called, data structures and algorithm, even though it's a little. So all in all, let me continue. Oh, I saw one. Okay, let me just make a little of this. I saw one comment that, okay, if Elon Musk get hold of Stack Overflow and he decides that everybody using Stack Overflow, if you need to get an answer from Stack Overflow, you pay $8. Like, I was actually just, that thing actually cracked my lips, because a lot of developers will lose their job, a lot, including me inclusive. Not like I may not know everything, but if I encounter bug, Stack Overflow helps you in solving your bug. So well, most of the bugs you might have encountered, somebody have encountered it also, and you will see something that is very similar that can help you solve your bugs. So now somebody's now telling you to pay for it. Yes, people will pay for it. I'll pay for it, but it will be very, very stressful and difficult, because I know once I pay for it, if it's every time, it will be very, very, very difficult when I don't have money. So, continuation. JavaScript statements are inserted between the script tag, that is the HTML tag. HTML tags on web page can be used to implement JavaScript. Although the script tag which contains a JavaScript can be placed anywhere on your website, it's typically advised that you place it inside the body tags, as I said yesterday, as I showed yesterday also. So you should try to place it at that point. That is the body part, which I think I would have here. Yeah, where you have this, place it somewhere around here. So continuation. JavaScript, still on JavaScript syntax. The browser programs is informed to begin interpreting all of your text, all of the text in between these scripts, in between these tags as scripts by script tag. Your JavaScript will have the following basic syntax. It will begin with this script, then the JavaScript code. Then, because of your seeing this script, you understand that what you are doing is JavaScript. Just as you have your H tag, whatever, your style for CSS, so you have script for JavaScript. Continuation. The script tag requires two crucial attributes. Circle that crucial attribute, the two that I said, because I'll talk about them. Your chosen scripting language is indicated by the language attribute. Usually, JavaScript will be its value. That's the language part. Although the use of this attribute has been phased out in more recent versions of HTML, and SHTML is successful, which simply means you will see that even they don't use it, even though they don't put that language is equal to JavaScript, it still works. But in the old part, the ideal way for you to do it is that it should be there. So type, the second crucial attribute is type. It is now advised to set this attribute value to type text slash JavaScript to indicate the scripting language used by JavaScript. So your JavaScript will look like this script, then language, JavaScript, then type, JavaScript. Just as the way I mixed out language here. So adding language here. Call it in full though. It should be something like this. So good and fine. Good and fine. This is just how to write your hello world in JavaScript. I'm very sure I saw that my colleague already showed the people how to use all this, but he used it through the console. But I'll be showing people while using the, what is it called, the browser, sorry, the VS Code. So this is what you have. To print out hello world, I just have my language, JavaScript, type this. So you see it's on the body. As you can see from here, there's nothing like hello world. What I just have is this. So the DOM. This is using DOM to print out hello world. What you use for people is console. But I'm introducing people to DOM a little by little, because in his next class, he will be discussing more about the DOM. I'm only trying to bring you people into using VS Code for now. It will take proper on how to use the DOM, on what document means, what write means. But for now, write means to print out. So let me preview this in my live server. As you can see, I only know document.write. What did it give me? Hello world. In this my phone, this in here, you could see there is nothing like hello world anywhere. What I just have is document.write. But JavaScript, this. So there is to say something that is saying. The moment you write hello world using the programming language, then you're a programmer already. So if you could write hello world with JavaScript, you are free to tell yourself, I'm a programmer, because not everybody can write this hello world. Giving somebody this language and you be like, okay, I want you to write hello world in Python or whatever language. It's always difficult for some. Someone that has not learned it before, it's difficult. But you that know it now, it's easy because you know what hello world, how to do the hello world. Very easy. And now you're really qualified to be called a programmer. So good. Going back to my slide. You've been able to do that. Then now, another part of the thing that you've also have seen is comments. Comments in JavaScript. Yes, JavaScript is able to process comments written in C and C++. The way you write a comment in C++ and C, JavaScript is almost something like that. JavaScript consider any text between double slash and the end of a line to be comment, and it ignores it. Just the way you make a comment in HTML, so also you can make comments using JavaScript. Between the characters, that is backslash, asterisk, and asterisk backslash, all the text is interpreted as comments. So this might take up several lines. So whatever lines you do, JavaScript just understood this already. Then also supported by JavaScript is this HTML syntax that you have, opening and closing tag. So JavaScript treats it as a single line. Sorry, like the double slash comment, JavaScript is as a single line. JavaScript does not recognize the HTML comment closing this dash dash, so it should be written as this. So with all this thing I've said, this is just it. Yeah, I have it here. So this is the example. You could see everything I have here never showed. So this is actually similar to your all C++ all this comment section, but in JavaScript is like this. This is very similar to how C programming also does this, like C programming. So you can do multiple comments using this. Just your slash and your slash. There's a shortcut for that, which you can actually figure out while you are learning also. But I know this is also possible too. You could do this. But see the error it's bringing out. That's like comment on comment. But let me put it here. It worked. So this is how to make comments in JavaScript. Good and fine. The next thing, placing JavaScript in HTML file. I've seen that a lot of people will be like, oh, I want to place my JavaScript. Somebody asked me a question yesterday. Where is the best place to put the JavaScript? Yes, you can put it anywhere. You can put it anywhere. So JavaScript can be inserted anywhere in the HTML document with relative ease. However, the following are the methods that are most frequently used to include JavaScript in an HTML file. I said don't put it in, even though I say you can put it anywhere, yes, it will work. Don't now, because of that, right? Ade is a boy in P tag. Next thing, JavaScript tag. Go again. Toby is a girl. The next tag, JavaScript this is. So you are putting it just anywhere scattered. Try to put it orderly. If you are putting it in the head, put it in the place almost your JavaScript in the head. You are putting it in the body, place everything in JavaScript in the head. It's not recommended for you to do body and head, but it will work. Script is an external file, and then it includes, you can put it also external, like calling it in the head or anywhere. So for that, let me just show you an example of how it looks when you are trying to do that. So for the body, JavaScript for the body, this is how it looks like. See your body. This is it. So if I should run this code, let's see what will happen. If I should run it, see, hello world, this the web page body. It worked. Let me go to the head. If I put it in the head, this one is in the head. If I put it in the head, let's see what will happen. Let me run this. Is there, so let me click on this button. It says hello world, and it's calling the JavaScript in the head part, but because I need the input to actually have something to show. So that's why it is here. So good and fine. Then the both part where I said too, that you can put it in the both. So you can see is on the what is it called? Body. Oh, let me just leave this. It's in the body part. So also is also in the head part. So if I should run this, let's see. Is here already. So it says hello world. If I click on this, it says say hello. So good. So you can see how I placed it on different parts and they all worked. So also you can place your JavaScript anywhere, just like that. Okay, what stage will you start learning React? For you to start learning React, it depends on your understanding of JavaScript. So I'll just say that. Funny enough, I learned basic of JavaScript and I moved to React, and I've done great things with React. So moving forward, JavaScript data types. You've learned out where you can put JavaScript, but now what are the data types of JavaScript? I know my colleague spoke about this, but I just want to emphasize and because these are the things you need to understand in JavaScript first before you try to move to the complex ones. So that's why I did a another method to teach it using the slide. So first, JavaScript data types. The data types that a programming language supports is one of the most fundamental characteristics. In a programming language, these are the types of values that can be represented and manipulated. Every language this is what you can use. Numbers, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4. Strings of text, which is the apostrophe, that is in the words. Then the boolean, which is the true and false. Every string is to in JavaScript or other languages must have this quotation mark, this two double decent quotation mark. So always add it, this quotation mark, double. That specifies that this is a string, because you can also use a number and turn the number to string. But what to help you do that with this quotation mark, it could either be 1 or it could be 2, but ensure that if you are using 1 here, use 1 also here. So in addition, JavaScript defines 2 negligible data types, which is the null and the undefined. Those ones are almost like errors. They interpret it, but are like errors. That's what it almost means. Like 0 is like nothing is there, null. Each of which defines only one value, which is 0, nothing. JavaScript also supports a composite data type known as objects. You would come across this in the following class, and also my colleague must have also spoken about objects, where you also have the arrays. So in addition to these primitive data types, good. Now, though I've just only told you the little data types, which is just like the basic. My colleague spoke about that. So also try to watch those videos. So the next thing I'll be talking about is variables in JavaScript. Variables in JavaScript. First, what is a variable? A variable is a named storage for data. We can use variables to store goodies, visitors, and other data. So you could use a variable to store anything. If you are saying you want to store name of people, that's like variable. You are assigning them a name. So variable is just storing. And my colleague spoke about the types of variable that we have. It told you about let, it told you about const, it told you about var. I also watched that video so I could see all that. So if you missed that class, I would advise you to watch them also. In continuation, naming variables. Yes, although you can give the variables any name you want, but it is good programming practice to give the variables names that are meaningful and descriptive. Additionally, variable names must begin with a letter and are case sensitive. Don't use a number to start a variable. Then also, they are case sensitive because the letter N in a name varies. The variable name, student name, see the difference, and student capital N name are distinct from one other, small n and capital N. So JavaScript holds it and looks like no, they are different. The other programming languages that would accept it as to be the same, they are not case sensitive. But JavaScript is case sensitive. So if you're calling student name, remember what you are calling it. That's why I say, when I was also talking about CSS, I said ensure that you use a descriptive name for your CSS, so also for your JavaScript, so that you can easily call them and you would know them, and you would know how to go and search your lines of code and you can't get what you are trying to call. Then variables in JavaScript. Declare variables in JavaScript. How to declare variables in JavaScript? Very easy. You must first declare a variable before you can use it. To declare a variable, use the keyword var as follows, which means variable name. So the var is holding name as its variable. Good. Then the next part of it is assigning a value to the variable. You can also assign a value to a variable. So either it is being declared or after it has been declared. There are two ways you can define, you can assign a value to a variable. So the first one is, say example, variable name equals Sylvercodez. So this is just one line. Good. Then I can now say variable name equals Sylvercodez. I can now call name Sylvercodez. I can still call name again, put Toby, to change it that Sylvercodez is no more, name is no more Sylvercodez, but now name is now Toby. So variable, you can do that in variable. And I'm very sure that my colleague also told you the difference between variable and const. That variable is temporary, while const looks more permanent. So if I'm saying const name equals Sylvercodez, if I should call const name again, it should throw me an error telling me name has initially been done. So let me just show you an example of that. So if at all I do variable name equals Toby, then I say sorry, then I have const name equals Toby. Yes, this is working, but let me remove this. As you can see, it's not allowing me to even call any name again. It's already throwing me an error. It said cannot redeclare block variable name because it has already been declared before. So it cannot redeclare it. So it's going to take it up as an error. So const is temporary, it's permanent, while the var is temporary. So good and fine about that. So going next, I've told you how that var and let are the same way. They work almost the same way. While it's just that let is more temporary, is more advanced and temporary, but a lot of people use that var. But The ones that came out first is the var. So continuation. I've thought about that JavaScript, that variable, because I not go deep into it because there's a class about it, so you can just rewatch those parts of it. So good and fine. The next part of it is JavaScript operators. I'm only teaching the basics so that people know understand the basics, because the basic is very important. So JavaScript operators. First, what is JavaScript operator? Okay, so I have it here to be that an operator is a special symbol used to perform operations on operands, that's values and variables. For example, 2 plus 5 equals 5. Hence, plus is an operator that performs addition, and 2 and 3 are operands. That's what they call them. Those values of variables are called operands. So just circle that also this thing, so that you, whenever you are seeing an operation, you're like, what is 2, what is 3, what is the plus, you already know that 2 and 3 or whatever value you have are called operands, and the negative part of it, like, or the function that you're trying to use to perform, is called the other part. No, no, thank you yet. Then now, JavaScript also supports the following types of operators: arithmetic operators, comparison operators, logical or rational operators. Then you have assignment operators, conditional or ternary operators. Then you have types of operators. But I will not be, what I'll be talking majorly is the arithmetic, comparison, on as logical, and the assignment operator. I'll be giving you guys an assignment. An assignment is to practice. You're not submitting it anyways, but if you want me to check it out, you can also tell me and I'll check it for you, or I will revert back. Is using the conditional or ternary operator, the type wise operator, and the byte wise operator. Yes, this is the last thing we'll be taking for today. I don't want a class where you get tired. I don't want to teach you people to get tired. And I know that JavaScript is not something you can just teach everything at once. There are complex part of it that is like the if else, and it should be like a class on its own. So I would ensure, I'm already looking for a way. I've asked for that. I've asked for a class tomorrow. So that I'll be able to go into the if else, while for, even though my colleague has taken it, I will just really talk about the inner basic of it. I don't want to rush you guys. I don't want you people to feel very overwhelmed trying to get a lot, because I know that at some point, even right now, some people are really getting confused. And it's more like, oh, just talking, talking, talking. And I don't want it to be like more of talking. I want people to understand it. And when I say I want people to understand it, I want people to follow. What time tomorrow? They've not given me a time, but try to check your calendar, please. Yes, Elsie, Emmanuel. So I'll look for a way to take that. But for today, we'll end it as exactly 7 o'clock, which is an hour, and it's supposed to be 2. But I just don't want to put a lot. But, and also I did not make slides for that. But if you feel you want us to continue, majority carry the votes. So I would also continue to ensure we take the if else and while statement. But please ensure you are getting it. Getting it is the key thing for a tutorial. Yes, you can watch it back. You can go back and watch it. Go back and watch it. I've not known the time yet. The time has not been ascertained yet. Yes, var means variable. Const means constant. The full meaning of const is constant. Const is constant. Good. Then operators, we have majorly, we have 7 types of operators. I did not list them here, but I would advise you to hold your biro now, because I would explain. So we have first, we have the addition, we have the subtraction, which is like the slash, we have the modulus, we have the increment and decrement. And let me explain what that is. Addition is normal plus, 2 plus 2, 4. Multiplication, subtraction is minus, which is like 2 minus 2, 0. 2 minus 1, 1. And you have the multiplication, which is like 2 times 3, 6. You have the division, which is almost like 2 divided by 2, you have it to be 1. Then you have the modulus. The modulus means remainder. So for example, if I say 2 divided by 5, how many 2 can I see in 5? I can see 2, 2. It will remain what? 1. Which simply means 2 divided by 5. If I use modulus, it will be 1. Modulus. I'll show you an example also, so don't be scared. Then you have the increment. When I say increment, it's just like addition. You're adding something. You're adding. So it's just, if you say increments, that's why when I showed this thing on my this thing yesterday, was it? Let me get it to it. I showed you one silver counter. Yeah, I built this some while ago. This is what increment does. See, as I'm clicking, add is increasing. This increment. Decrement is remove, subtract. So it's decreasing. So it's decreasing. Good. So that is that on that. So now let's go into our code base and check out what that increment does and how it does it. So okay, so I'll be going into this how to write it. Like I said, I told you, you declare your type. Then now I'm declaring variable a, which I'm saying a should take up 10. So wherever I call a my code, it means 10. Then it takes up b variable. I'm declaring b as a variable. So wherever there is b, it takes up 2. Then I'm declaring c as a string. As you can see, as I'm moving on, it's telling me string. It's telling me this one is a number. So the string is taken up because of the c, that is because of this way it is called. It's called string. So it's taking up that. So even though I know I'll not be using this C, I don't call that C anywhere. So it's not really useful. So now, for example, I want to do a addition plus this thing. So I have document.write, which this one is actually just saying print out a plus b. Then I'm not putting variable result. I not call the var, but I can do it that way too. You can, without the var, if I do this, if I remove all this var, it will work. But it's also very, very good you do this, because if I do it this way, I may not be able to use it again like that. So it's always very good to do it this way. Call the maybe variable const or something, but leaving it empty is also means variable. So I have results to be a plus b, which is doing an arithmetic addition operation. Then I'm saying it should print out the result for me. So let's see if I have this. Let's see what it will bring out. It's not showing. I'll try to name it. It may be okay, Emmanuel. It may be the class by 6 o'clock tomorrow. It may be that class by 6 o'clock tomorrow. It may be that class by 6 o'clock tomorrow, but it's not certain yet. So good. Okay. So as you can see, that is 10 plus 2, 12. Is now a plus b, because a is taking the value of 10, b is taking the value of 2. So this is how arithmetic is being done, and this is the way you print out it on reason why we're using this. Then you let me go to the next. Let me comment this one out. And let me uncomment this. This is the next one. Let me just comment them one by one. Yes, I've written them down because I don't want the class to be very, very, very long, and I know that it's not going to be. I don't want something that to be very, very long for you. I want it to be as simple as possible. So you have the -1. You should already know if you should run this code, it will give you minus. So let me even remove everything and just run them at once. So you have the -1, same structure. Oh no. So let me save this and let me go back to my browser and refresh. So if it's minus, this is it. If it's divide, which is 10 divided by 2, it is 5. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Then you have the modulos. The modulos. This is the modulos. This is what they call. This is how you put this modulo sign. You put the modulo sign. So the modulos is 10 modulos 2, which is 0. There's no remainder. It's not remaining anything. It's not remaining anything. Then you see the next one, a plus b plus c, which is now like you are concatenating a string and a what is it called, and a number. That's why you have 12. You remember I called c test, which is 10 plus 2 plus c, which is now 12 test. Increment plus a, which is same thing as let me show you. That's the result plus a. Plus a, which is the same thing as just, because first you can see here I called a is equals to a plus a. The a is what? A is 10 plus a, that is 1 like that. So you have it to be 12. If it's minus, which is like 0. So you can lay your hands more on this, practice more, you will be able to get it. So now going to the next one, comparison operators. Like I said, comparison operators. What are those comparison operators? Like comparing. You have the equal, there are 6 of them. You have the equal, you have the not equal, you have the greater than, you have the less than, you have the greater than or equal to, and you have the less than or equal to. In mathematics, you already know what this means. If they say A is equal to B, that means A is equal to B. If they say A is not equal to B, that means A is not equal to B. It's not the same thing. That they don't have same thing. Same thing in programming language. I told you people yesterday that most of some of those things in mathematics also comes to programming language. Just very little. It's not like something that you cannot do. It's something you can absolutely do. So you have this. So I have 10 equals to. So let's see. Let's run this. Oh. Okay. So let me save this and run this. Open live server. This is it. So you have, that's when you this one works majorly with the true and false, this thing. That's the boolean. You know, I told you about the numbers, I told you about the string, and I told you about this thing. So comparison operator works with boolean. So it checks it. You can use it to do other things though, but for this case, it's working with boolean. So you can use it to do, okay, if that's when you have the conditional, that's when you get to the conditional statement, you see the major use of this this operator. That's when you see if name equals Ade, print out all this. Then else, if it's not equal to it, it should not do it. I'm very sure my colleague has spoken about this also. So I'm just trying to do a recap, but I'm not be going deep into it. I want to be sure if you guys can hear me. If you can hear me and you are following up, let me just know in the comment section below. So I can say the next one is A less than B. Let's check. What is our A? Remember, our A is what? 10. Is 10 less than 2? No. False. 10 is greater than 2. Is it true? Yes, it is true. 10 is not equals to 2. Is it true? Yes, it is true. 10 is greater equals to true. Greater equals to 2. True. 10 is less than equals to 2. True. So this is how the code just looks like. Is A equals to B? Is A is equals to this? So everything is just majorly right. This is the function that is running. Function that is running. So the document is right is only printing it out for us. That's what it's only doing. So good, great, and fine. Good, great, and fine. In a little by little, you're only getting introduced into the if else statement, but not really deep into it. But I would ensure that if I can, next one we'll be going into is the logical operations. Logical operations. First, what do you think that logical operation is? So let's go into it. Logical operation is the ones that have the and, that is double and. For those that did, what is it called? Computer. I know I did computer in SS2, and they spoke about us about how many years back? Close to 7 years back now. No, that's 7, 8 or 9. Yeah. Then double and for this is and you know what this and means? Let me show you people here. Logical. So this is it. This syntax. And what it means. Then you have another one which is not, which is or. You hear the and gate, or gate, that was in, what's it called? And the not gate, that was in computer. So also it applies here to also, because programming is computer. So you have the and, you have the or, and you have the not. So let me uncomment this. And you have the not. This double slash, that's the not. Then you have the, sorry, this is the or, this is the not. Not this thing, this apostrophe, it means not. You can use as not equals to, not this, not that. So that's what it does. So let's run this and see what would happen. Yeah, so we have this. We have is A and B, which is that if both operands are non-zero, then the condition will become true. That's what it means. That means if both values are non-zero, then it will become true. So that's why this one is actually false. Then you have the next one. A equals to 2, A equals to true, A equals to false. Because you could see this. So both of them are not the same thing. If they are the same thing, then it will become true. So you see the next one is what? What is it? Is A not equals to this? And it's telling you that yes, it's true. Both of them are not the same thing. Then the next one is they're not the same, still not, which is like the or, which is this. So I know this might look confusing and all that, but when you start using all of this, is when you start the normal function, when you also try to use a mapping, because mapping and all that. Okay, what does the BR? You know what the BR tag is in normal this thing? The BR tag, this BR tag in HTML, break. That's what it's doing here. That's break. It's break. So I use that in HTML so that after it prints out this, it breaks so that it's not just be on a straight line. If I should remove this, you'll see. And I remove this. So let's see what happens. As you see, it's on a straight line because I removed that. So it's break, normal breaking, normal this thing in your HTML CSS. So could that I said JavaScript is very, 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 very fun. So good. Then the last one I'll be talking about before people go for your assignment, which is the condition, type, operators, and the bitewise, is assignment operator. The reason why I don't go into this conditional one because majorly it deals with the if. It deals with the if, and I don't want to go into the if today. Aside, there's a vote of okay, our head is still able to continue with JavaScript, and we'll go into the if statement without what is it called slides. What else? I'll create a slide again and talk to you people about the if, else, loop statement, events also. So the last one, which is the assignment of, so you can still do that in the comment section below. Let me just know. Majority will carry the votes. If I don't get anything, it means if people are kind of tired and I don't want people to be tired and all that. So the last one is the assignment operator. The assignment, you know what the assignment operator does already. Assignment operator it just what is it called? They equal to minus and all that. So equals to means simple assignment. That's the meaning. That's the name. Simple assignment, which is like is A equals B. Let's run it. Let me remove this and run it. Oh, let me run. Why is it always coming here? So value of A equals to B. So what's the value of A? Result. So the value of A is your what there? If A, you are trying to say convert whatever is in A. I want it to be equals to B. You are like assigning this, like reassigning a variable. You are reassigning a variable. So this is like an assignment operator. You are reassigning. Remember, B is 10. But now I reassign it that B, A should be equals to B. You know when you say A is equals to B in mathematics, when you are trying to say 10 is equals to something. So you are reassigning the variable to be equals to the value of B. And the result it gave us is that A is now equals to 10. Then if you say A plus B will be what? Like trying to say you are adding it. You are adding A plus equals to B equals what? You know, you remember, you've already said from here, you've given it that A is now equals to B, which is like this is now almost useless from here. A B, which is 10. So it's taking the result, the answer that you're giving that A is equals to B, and it's applying it here, and it's now saying 10 plus B is now equal to 20. Let me do this for you so that you understand better. Let me comment this out so that my A will still remain, will retain 33. So you see, 3 plus 10, it is equals to what? 43. But because here I've reassigned my variable, A is now is equals to B and B is equals to 10. So my answer here is equals to what? Is it here? 20. I commented this out before. So it's now saying 10 plus 10 equals to 20. Now, like say A is to B, which is 10. Now A is now 10. A plus B equals 20. Remember, my A is now 20. So my B is what? Still 10. I've not done it to be this thing. So that's 20 minus B minus 10, which is now 10. Addition and assignment. This is called, the next one is now 10 plus 10, which then the next thing is going to be 10. So 10 plus 10. So, okay, I can see the comments. Please, let's take it tomorrow. Make a slide to explain it. Please create a slide if possible. Real application scenario. Okay. I will. I'll create a slide for it, and I'll also share the slide with you guys. So I have the multiplication is now 10 times 10. Remember, my b is always constant. It's still 10. I've not changed it. A, I'm redesigning. What is it called? Saying again, my a is now 10. Remember, so the value of my a now remains 100. Now the value of my a, which is 100 divided by equals b, which same thing as a divided by 10, which is now 10. You can see now my a is 10. So 10 divided by 10 is 0. See how beautiful that is. Assignment is almost just used for reassigning, which is equals to. So good and fine. Since I'll be making a slide for that, so and I think that's the major thing about the operator. So in our tomorrow's class, if possible, I'll ensure I look for that time. I beg for that time and even asking for my colleague for it. So I would get it. We'll be discussing about the if else statement, the switch case statement, the while loop statement, the for loop statement, the for loop in statement, the loop control and functions. So we'll be discussing about that, going into function. Then maybe in our next class again, if I have another, we'll then discuss about the events, the cookies, the dialog box, just a little, but the page printing on then objects. Then I think majorly that's the basic JavaScript that we need. So, okay, guys, I would love to. Yes, I'll share the current slide. Let me even do that right away so that I don't forget. I'm doing that right away. You all see it on your Slack. Okay, great. I've done that. I've done that. So great, good and fine. Thank you so much for all joining this class. It's been awesome so far, and I will make sure that yeah, it's on Slack. I will make sure that tomorrow's class also will be as interesting as possible, even maybe more than this. So if you've actually enjoyed this class, I would love you before leaving, just drop a thumbs up on the like button below, and also ensure that if you have not subscribed to Zuri Team YouTube, also do that. Thank you guys. See you guys in our next